Hey everybody, this is Jennifer and welcome to my channel where I talk about books, music, movies, and anything else I fancy. Let's see here. So this week is the Romance Readers Readathon. So I'm doing several romance related videos. And this is the second one. It's the Romance Readers book tag. Sorry about the whole fidgety and yeah, whatever. Anyhow, so let's get started. I'm gonna link to the original in the description box below. Okay, so what age did you start to read romance? Romance was one of the first types of adult novels I got into. So basically between the ages of 12 and 14 when I saw Interview with a Vampire, pretty much all I read was romance that I lifted off of a couple of my aunts who read them pretty constantly, and a box of old romances that my mom had forgotten about and stuck in a closet. And I was like, I wasn't snooping around her closet, but it was in a linen closet, and I was like, ooh, what's in there? So I saw them and I read them and I liked them. So yeah, so basically between 12 and 14 I was reading Christopher Pike, John Grisham, Robin Cook, Michael Crichton, and romance novels. So next up is question 2. If you could pick one hero to meet from one of your favorite romance novels, which one would you pick and why? I am cheating. Well, I don't know if this is cheating, because what I'm doing is there's this series called the Neighborly Affection series, and it's by M.Q. Barber, and it's more erotica than romance, but there is a good deal of romance in it, which I like. And so it's an MMF erotica series. So there's two dudes, and they're neighbors and they're lovers, and their neighbor Alice moves in, and they're like, we like Alice. And Alice, on the 1-year anniversary of her moving in, she goes to dinner and then everything changes. So yeah, I love this series. There's 5 books total and 1 short story. And I'm really looking forward to eventually when there's another one, because I love, every book is basically a standalone, but it continues their journey into their relationship every book. And I really love it, and they're really cute. And Henry and Jay are awesome. Henry's a bit older, he's an artist, and Jay is a very fun-loving, like, goofball kind of guy, but he runs his own courier service, and this takes place in Boston. So they're like really good foils for each other, and they're both like really good dudes. So yeah, this isn't one of those weird novels where the guy's kind of a creep but she likes him. No, these are really good guys, and there's, you know, I just like them both. So, and they come together in this one book, so I'm choosing both of them because I can, because they're a unit. Anyway, question number 3 is, who are your favorite romance authors and why? So I've been going through my romance stash, and I was surprised to find when I would say my favorite romance author, I would say it's probably Miranda Lee. However, I only own one like physical book by Miranda Lee. I own one ebook called Night to the Rescue. This one is called A Daughter's Dilemma, which I think is pretty good. But I don't have my favorite book by her, which is The Bride in Blue. However, it is available as an ebook anytime I want it from the library for free. That's probably why I don't have it, because I know I had a copy at some point. But I enjoy Miranda Lee's books probably best than any others. But what I've done here is I've gotten a I just went through my collection and I figured out which ones I had the most of. So let's just go through these. One is Patricia Wilson. I have 6 books by her, and I like them all. Next up, I would say Emma Darcy. The thing with Emma Darcy is pretty much the same thing with Miranda Lee. Most of the books that I reread of hers are ebooks that I can check out from the library whenever I want, and I only tend to keep the ones that aren't in ebook form. And so right now I have 4 of hers. This one's kind of like, oh, I really should get a rubber band and put around that one, but yeah. So I have 4 Emma Darcy's here. And then the author I have the most of, the author I own the most from is, and this is Carol Mortimer. And I'm counting this as 2 books because it has 2 books in there. 8. I own 8 of hers. And her later ones, I really don't like that much. They feel a bit like they're written by other people. But the ones in the late 70s and then the early 80s, I really love. Yeah. So, there we go. Carol Mortimer. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4. What is a favorite romance reread? Well, let me put it this way. Any book I have here, I've reread, and I've reread multiple times. I don't keep romance novels around if I'm not going to reread them, because they're kind of light, they're kind of throwaway, and then the ones that aren't, I don't. So The Devil Earl, which is on my Romance Readers Readathon TBR, so you've already seen this one, but this is one I love to reread. It is one of my favorites. Let's see here. I've got quite a few going on here. Yeah, let's just go with this one. This one is Fit for a King by Diana Palmer. This is a first edition. And it was collectible, so I got it for $3. But I've had this for over a decade. I love this story. And now it's on ebook now. They're doing a lot of reissues for Diana Palmer. And I'll be honest, I like reading her, but she's very formulaic. But I like this one a lot, because this one's this doesn't follow the same formula as some of her other ones, and it's one of her really early books, and it's a Silhouette Desire. It's an old book. Well, let me see. Let me see what year it's from. It's from 1987, and it is first edition. All right, so yeah, we'll just do those. We'll just do those for my reads, because there's another video coming up soon where I go through my romance things, and we'll leave the rest of them for that. Okay, next up is, what book would you recommend to a non-romance reader? Now, I'm finding this question really tricky because I can't think of just one book, because my philosophy on this is such: if someone is a non-romance reader, you want to connect the romance with something they do enjoy. Like, say if there's a mystery or something, then you would, or they like thrillers, then you would probably give them one of the romantic suspense ones, you know? Because you want to connect the romance, which they don't like, with something they do like. It could end up doing that, or it could end up not. Yeah, I don't know. This could backfire, but if we're going strategy here, that is the strategy I would personally use. Like, if they like, if they like historical fiction, have them try historical romance. It might work. Anyway, I'm not really big on forcing people into reading stuff they don't like. Not that that question implies that, but sometimes I feel like I'm very sketchy about recommending stuff to people. Okay, so now that we've gotten through that non-answer, let's go through number 6. What is your favorite contemporary, suspense, historical, and why? Okay, so I'm going to do something here. I'm going to rank them. So my least favorite is suspense. Even though technically I feel like, well, you know what, let me just, I'm not big on thrillers and I'm not big on mysteries. So that part of the romance, yeah. So going back to my last answer, those aren't my favorite regular books to read, so I don't like them quite so much in my romance either. Next up is historical. I'm not a big historical reader. However, some of my favorites are historical. But it's not the thing I read the most of. It's not what I go to over and over again. Next up would be contemporary. A lot of stuff I read is contemporary, or it was at the time it was published. I read a lot of old books, but they were contemporary at their time. And yeah, I'm not big on the past and all that, and I definitely don't like YA romance or anything like that. However, this question does not mention my favorite type of romance. Even though I did say in one of my previous videos that I think this one and romantic suspense kind of overlap a lot. It doesn't always, but it kind of does. My favorite kind of romance is, excuse me, paranormal. Paranormal romance is my favorite. It's what I've read the most of, except maybe contemporary, but a lot of them are series. A lot of paranormal romance belong to the series genre, so just by that factor alone, I read a lot of them. Though not so much recently, because like this series right here, the Argento series by Lindsay Sands, I kind of haven't been rereading them a lot lately. And the last two that came out, I have not read it all. I got the, not the last one, but the one before the last one. I got that one from the library and I DNF'd it because we got to like the first or the second chapter, and I don't know, I might be spoiling a little bit something. Well, I don't know, it's not too spoilery, because it's basically a tenet of the books is that they have these life mates and they can't read their minds and they can't control them, so they're kind of perfect for them. And this woman is this guy's life mate, but he found out she was his life mate when she was like 13, and he's been having a PI trail her, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, sorry. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these I find a lot, I like a lot, but like I said, they've just fallen out of favor with me, really, as far as reading a lot of them go. However, if we're gonna talk about these Janine Frost ones, I like a lot too. I read like the first 6 or 7 Cat and Bones books, and I've read all of this. This was kind of an offshoot tetralogy featuring Vlad right here. And I really liked those. But I'm kind of like, I think that is kind of a phase that might be over. I don't know. I'm still reading a good deal of romance, but they're almost always rereads. They're really never new ones, but the new ones I'm reading are mostly contemporary. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, that is the 6 questions of the Romance Readers book tag. I'm not gonna tag anybody because romance is not really people's things. So I don't wanna, like, I don't know. I like to be polite about this, and I don't like forcing people to do tags if they don't want to do it. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to do it, because yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And I will catch you again for one more video where I go through my romance collection, my romance stash, if you will. And that'll be a little bit later in the week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to comment on my answers, make answers of your own in the comments if you want, or like, share, and subscribe, whatever you want. So yeah, bye.